Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Sunday Live from the 7 Mile. We had a almost like hurricane type weather this morning, so I was a little concerned about doing the live. As you can see, it's pretty choppy out there, but we may have to pack up quickly at one point and get out of here because it's looking a little cloudy in the south, even though it normally comes in from the north. But you never know with this weather because it's been so just abnormal for this time of year, especially throughout the month of March. Has been super, super rainy. So can't take anything for granted. But welcome to you all. Thanks for hopping on the live. Thanks for sharing your Sunday afternoon or morning or evening, wherever you are coming in from the world. Always appreciate hanging out with you all. Hello, Elvis, Synthwave Pro. Thanks for hopping on again. Ocean Gray, thank you. So as you can see, I don't know if you can see in the comments, Ocean was asking about a driver that had gotten an accident pretty much last summer. We talked about him a few months ago, I want to say, and I was just giving her updated information. So as far as I know, this is Trevor. He's been with us here at Travelers for many years. He was in the hospital for, unfortunately, like 6 months, and we couldn't visit him because of COVID. But I understand he recently had leg surgery, which was why he was in the hospital for so long. He couldn't get scheduled for surgery, but I understand that he did get scheduled. I haven't, and has had the surgery. I haven't been in contact with him since he's been out of surgery, but I understand he's out the hospital. I tried calling him a couple of days ago, but couldn't get through. But I'll definitely follow up on him, and I will update you all on how he's doing. I hope he's doing well. But thank you, Ocean, for asking and caring about him and following up with how he's doing. I appreciate it, and I'm sure if he sees this or heard this, he would appreciate it as well. Hey, Pass Thompson, how are you? Welcome. Brian, welcome. Denise, welcome. Mr. Peterson, welcome. Leary Roach, afternoon. Oh, all the way from Trinidad and Tobago. Thanks for joining. Thanks for hopping on. Are you having the same or similar weather in Trinidad that we are here? It was literally like a hurricane this morning when I went for my long run. I was like, man, should I go on the street? But I love running in the rain. So it was actually a privilege. It doesn't rain a lot in the morning. So when it does, it's kind of exciting for me. And it was super windy, and I just worry about the cars. Really, I don't really care about the weather, or whether it's raining or whether it's super windy. It's just the cars; they don't drive too well here in inclement weather. So I was just running very super aware. Nothing happened. Always have my when it's dark or when it's rainy, I always wear reflectors and try to be as safe as possible. But did my long run without incident this morning, and again, it was pretty fun. In this weather, yeah. So wondering if you're Leary, if you have the same or similar weather in Trinidad. It's very overcast now, and as I mentioned before, looking a little ominous in the south, which we normally don't get weather systems coming in from there. But again, you never know. So again, if we hop off and we close the laptop really quickly, it started a torrential downpour and we had to take it inside. So I will have my phone on deck. So if we need to hop over to my phone real quick while we reset inside, I will do that, but just be aware of that. But of course, let me know where everybody is from. I like knowing where we are in the States, Canada, Europe, South America, Caribbean, all over. It's always fun to hear where everybody is from. Hello, Arlene. Oh, Leary says it's very sunny here today in Trinidad and Tobago. Okay. Guess you missed this weather system, whatever this is. Happy for you. It's it was like a little sunny before, but again, super overcasty, and it seems like it's probably going to rain at some point today, hopefully after this podcast is over. Hey, Jessica from Delaware. Chula Productions from Florida. Welcome. Prince Diamond. What's going on? All right. Hey, Posh. Welcome. Let's get you guys a beach view there. And we got some interesting articles here. Mr. Peterson chiming in from Pittsburgh, PA. Cold, is it? Since April. All the way from Vancouver, BC. Synthwave. North Carolina in the building. How you doing, Flower Power? Deeper Consciousness, welcome. All right, as you know, I'd like to hop right into the agenda. We got some articles here. I believe Vanessa is out there, our moderator. She's in the comments. She put this together for me. Always appreciate it. There she is, chiming in on cue. And we're going to hop into the first article here. I'm not sure if I just felt a raindrop. I hope I'm just feeling things. But let's do this. And so this is the first article. Kingston Properties seeks $1.5 billion from APO. And Vanessa, if you could just throw that in the comments so everybody has access to it. And as usual, I will read through it and you can read along if you'd like. And you got the nice beach view to look at while I go through this. So here we go. Real estate investment company Kingston Properties Limited, KPREIT. Really love acronyms here, don't they? Is again tapping the equities market. This time to raise $1.5 billion with the option to upsize to $2.25 billion as it inches towards a strategic goal of having 1 million square feet of real estate under management and amassing $10 billion in equity by 2023. In its latest invitation, an additional public offering APO, which opens on April 19th, 2022, KPRIT will offer 200 million new ordinary shares with the ability to upsize to a maximum of 300 million new ordinary shares, according to prospectus issued on April 6, 2022. KPRIT's offer is priced at $7.50. And I just want to be clear, I am not too sure if this is US dollars or Jamaican dollars. Very unclear, very, very, very unclear. Maybe we'll get to that at the end of the article and maybe it'll be a little bit more clear. But we continue, the COVID-19 pandemic has created major shifts in the real estate industry, which we have already begun to take advantage of with the $700 million bridge loan, which we secured last July. With this raise, we intend to continue to identify and take advantage of distressed assets in segments of the real estate market most likely to benefit from the recovery expected post-pandemic, said CEO of Kingston Properties Limited, Kevin Richards. Richards said KPRIT is bullish on the industrial space, driven largely by the growth in e-commerce over the years and rising demand of warehouse and mixed-use spaces. KPRIT has indicated that its key priorities over the next 12 months remain to grow its capital base, diversify its portfolio geographically, and leverage strategic partnerships with growth. The group has been identifying mainly value-add commercial properties in multiple jurisdictions to provide a better average risk-adjusted return. Since its last capital raise in 2019, KPRIT has made several large and impactful investments, including the acquisition of a fully tenanted office building in the Cayman Islands, a warehouse complex in Kingston in 2020, a property to be developed as an office and mixed-use complex in New Kingston, a greenfield development of mixed-use industrial properties in the Cayman Islands and Jamaica, as well as entered into a partnership agreement to participate in the multifamily and commercial office space in the U.S. Since its rights issue in 2009, KPRIT's stock price has risen over 69% and has paid out approximately $1.35 million in dividends to shareholders. KPRIT gives investors access to the global real estate market with 38% of our current investment portfolio in the Cayman Islands and 11% in the United States of America. 51% of our portfolio is in Jamaica. Our exposure to multiple jurisdictions and industries above average dividend payout ratio when compared to our peers and a track record of strong returns based on capital appreciation over the years make KPRIT very attractive to investors looking to capitalize on the global real estate market, Richard says. The lead broker and underwriter for the offer are VM Wealth Management with Sagicor Investments Limited, JMMB Securities Limited, JN Fund Managers, Scotia Investments, and Berita Investments listed as selling agents. Very cool. Thanks for throwing that in the comment section. So another finance real estate article there. And as you heard and saw, the CEO is very bullish on Jamaica real estate and also very bullish on the post-pandemic recovery. And we're starting to see this time and again. And you'll see in at least one article that I have today that there is more of the same, so to speak, in terms of confidence and how investors are feeling bullish about the recovery specific in Jamaica. And the article that I'm referring to is specific to the tourism industry. So seems like this is very more commercial, at least, when they're talking about green space and mixed use space. Maybe they're in residential developments. I'm not sure. I don't know what their portfolio consists of. The banking institutions that are mentioned here that you can look into or reach out to if you have connections with VM Wealth Management, with Sagicor. So if you saw the episode that I did with German, she's with Sagicor Investments. So I'm sure if she doesn't do it directly in terms of this investment opportunity, that she has connections. I'm also going to be reaching out to a wealth manager from VM to be on the podcast. I already reached out to her, and me and my family have a really good relationship with her before she was even in VM. And so I'm looking forward to having her on the podcast. So that's hopefully in the next few weeks. But if you are interested in this, possibly in getting on board with the APO here from Kingston Properties, you have I believe I'm sure you can Google it. I'm sorry I don't have any contact information, and I'm not pushing this at all. Just again, always presenting information. So this article was in Loop News Jamaica. This came out April 7th, and I'm trying to find the author to give credit to them. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing their name. But yeah, Loop News. This is where this article is from. All right. Let's see what we got in the comments. Okay. Calvin One Drop says it's cloudy in Maryland. How is it? Is it cold? Oh, Chelsea says that it was done in US dollar. Okay. Thank you for that. True Love asks, what is the topic today? We have multitudes of topics coming up. And then, of course, we're going to hop into any questions that you may have. Rain coming in from Ontario, Canada. Welcome. St. Louis in the house. Afro Kinky Hair. Thanks for hopping on again. Gina Palmer. Hello. Thanks for hopping on. Thanks for joining. All right. If there's no other questions or comments on the article from Kingston Properties, we'll keep it moving. And then also Prince says big names in banking. Yes. So when you hear names like that, these well-known, well-established banking and investment institutions, there's it could be a good opportunity. I'll just say that. All right, next article. Let's keep it moving here as it gets a little cloudy there, just looking at the camera. All right, this article, PriceSmart to expand direct farm purchase program. And this article came out April 8th. And Vanessa, again, if you would, just throw that in the comments. So if people would like to read along, they can do that. But of course, I'm going to read through it. Hello, Ebony, chiming in from NYC. Welcome. All right, let's hop into the article. Get you guys a view back. And as I mentioned, April 8th, this was written by Karina Bennett, and this is the Jamaican Gleaner. Jamaica Gleaner. All right, this overcast got me sweating out here. Okay, large grocery retailer PriceSmart is expanding its direct farm program to all 12 countries where it operates, including Jamaica, but is still working through the details. Through the program, PriceSmart procures high quality fresh products for its warehouse across Central America, the Caribbean, Colombia, and the United States, simultaneously supporting local farmers. It allows PriceSmart to provide its customers with produce at a better value than purchasing from distributors. CEO of PriceSmart, I'm not even going to try this name. Sherry B said during a virtual tour of the company's new store that was developed in Port Moore. Direct farm distribution centers are already operational in Panama and Costa Rica, and the Warehouse Club last year announced plans to open 2 additional produce distribution centers in other markets this year. Its third is slated for Trinidad and Tobago. Shout outs to Trinidad in the comment section, in which PriceSmart is investing 17 million. I guess those are Trinidadian dollars, TT. It is in multiple countries at the moment, and there is an aggressive schedule for it to be rolled out in other countries. The timeline of that schedule we don't have access to, but the intention is that all markets will eventually get the direct farm program, said Senior Vice President of Operations Dan Raj Mahabir during PriceSmart's virtual press conference. Various companies in Jamaica already incorporate farm-to-table concepts in their operations. For example, Megamart, a direct competitor of PriceSmart, which is currently sourcing vegetables from large farm lakes Penn Agri Ventures. Both businesses are owned by Gassin Azan. PriceSmart began operations in 1996 in San Diego, California, with the intent to bring its U.S.-style membership shopping warehouse club concept to underserved countries. The chain made a profit of $98 million off revenue of $3.6 billion US dollars at year ending August 2021. This week, PriceSmart will open its 49th warehouse club in Port Moore, following the construction of another club in Guatemala City, Guatemala. 2 years ago, the retailer got approved for the construction and operation of a complex at Catherine Hall, Montego Bay, but is still to provide details on plans for the property. I can't comment on that publicly. Our analytics showed that Portmore was the second option after Kingston, and the company is continuously reviewing expansion in all markets and in Jamaica, but the data will dictate what we do, Mahabir said. Very cool. Always, I think anything that we can do that directly supports farmers, especially local farmers, I think that's definitely a plus. And for those that don't know PriceSmart, I mean, it's pretty much like a Sam's Club or Costco or something like that. And the only one for a very long time was in Kingston. I didn't even know they opened up one in Port Moore. We actually used to take, I guess, day trips for the hotel. My dad used to we'd leave here at 4 a.m. I used to go with my dad, and we used to shop for the hotel, fill up a Town S, basically a minivan, and get all the things we need, and then come back to Negril, come back to Traveler. So that was our little hustle. It was a super positive. Now we do things a little bit differently in terms of getting items for the hotel. And I actually have a friend that they do. I guess it's Amazon delivery or whatever, all Whole Foods delivery, where you can order your whatever it is from PriceSmart if you're a member here in the grill, and they'll deliver it to you, which I didn't know that they had as a service. I think it's pretty cool because it's so far. But for us, it was worth it. And it's such a super asset to Jamaica. And that's awesome to hear that they have plans of coming to Montego Bay. There is Megamart as well in Montego Bay and Kingston and other places around Jamaica, as a matter of fact. but I feel like PriceSmart is a little bit better in pricing. I could be wrong on that, but I'm almost certain they are, and they have the membership aspect of it as well. Whereas Megamart, anybody can kind of go in there. You don't have to have a membership, but they do have like a points card, and it just makes life and pricing a little bit better. So I'm glad to hear that they're focusing on local farming. Dollars. Sorry, I need a napkin. I'm like sweating. The overcast is making it super humid here. Anyway, let's see if we can get you to that beach. There you go. And let's hop over to the comment section here. Harron Robinson, what's up? Harron, New York in the house. Welcome. Another person from Vancouver. Hey, Lenworth. Catch you up. Thank you. Peace. Welcome. Happy Sunday, Lisa. New Haven, Connecticut. All right. Hey, Carla. Carla says, how you doing out there in Jamaica? It was cold in Atlanta yesterday and was in the 30s and windy. Oh, my goodness. In Atlanta in April. Yeah, this weather is crazy. Crazy, 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 crazy. Welcome. Thanks for joining the stream. Cole says, love the idea of buying local. I really hope this creates more opportunities for Jamaican farmers. I hope so too. True Love Production says, what would the cost for a family of 5 stay at your hotel for 1 week? Depends. I would assume you would want 2 rooms for that. We do have a suite, and now I'm terrible with hotel questions because I'm not in operations, but just this is ballpark. Don't hold me to this. So you're probably looking at the suite. It's like, I should know this. I feel like it's like $225 a night for the suite, but our standard rooms are going for $130 per night, and we're a EP non all inclusive hotel, so you buy all your food and drink separately, which I always say I prefer that. We don't necessarily we love you to eat here and drink here, of course, at Travelers, but there are many, many great restaurants and bars up the beach. And to us, our philosophy is your Jamaican experience is not that of just at Travelers, even though this is your home when you come here, but more so the experience is, in our minds, is more holistic, and it's really Negril and experience and exploring Negril. So right here on the beach, as you look up there, like there are many, many hotels and restaurants and bars that I would always encourage people to explore, and we have tons and tons of recommendations as far as that goes. But sorry, I couldn't be more specific or accurate, but that's kind of just a ballpark idea for you. Nicole asked, do they have farmers markets in Jamaica? Yes, they do. We actually have one. We usually do one here in Negril once a month, and we're also in process through the Negril Chamber of Commerce. And maybe I'm actually there is an article that I think alludes to that might be coming up, but we're actually trying, as a community, we're trying to build a permanent farmers market downtown Negril, so you can, anybody can go down there, and very, very nice and modern farmers market. And we work with RADA, the Negril Chamber of Commerce, that is, works with RADA to put on these farmers markets. And as far as I'm concerned, they do farmers markets all over the country, but Negril is the most successful one as far as I understand, and by a large margin at that. So it's something that we definitely support as a community, and we support local farming and also access to these local produce as well. Glenworth asks, is that Booby K in the distance? That is right. That is Booby K in the distance. Centric counting down. Oh, only days to go. 5 days to go. Can't wait. I'm sure you're super excited. Camille, did you say PriceSmart is going to Montego Bay? That would be great. It would relieve some of the traffic it causes at the end of the month in Kingston. That's so true. Like Red Hills Road. Oh my gosh. especially during Christmas. I think we talked about this during that time, and there was like drone footage of the line. And I mean, I don't know if it was miles, but it was very long line of cars that is waiting to go into PriceSmart because it is, like I said, like such a huge asset to the country. And I guess just quality of life and prices as well. So people really appreciate that. Yeah. So yeah, I hope so. I hope that that does happen. They said they're looking to do it in Catherine's Hall, I believe, in that area, and that's actually kind of where Mega Mart is. So that's like super direct competition. Tony, welcome from Poughkeepsie. Jennifer says, "Thank you so much for your content. I'm chiming in from Toronto, planning to go back home in Black River." Okay, awesome. Welcome. Thanks for hopping on, Jennifer. Chelsea says, "What's the situation with the land dispute in Little Bay?" Coming up, you're jumping ahead of the program, Chelsea. You're reading my mind here. We got an article on that, so we'll definitely be addressing that. And good point. You're on it. You got a pulse. You got your finger on the pulse out here. You're welcome, True Love. Creative, welcome. Thanks for hopping on. Ainsworth Davis says, "Hi, how are you? Glad to know you are showcasing our beautiful country, Jamaica, and we welcome PriceSmart to Portmore." Awesome. I hope that would also alleviate some of that traffic pressure as well, being in Portmore. I'm sure it does. I'm sure it has to. If you know me, I'm driving from Negril. Of course, people are going to drive from Portmore to go to PriceSmart. Lenmore says, "Can visitors drop in for drinks or meals at travel?" Absolutely. I would say we're probably one of the more open hotels to people who are not staying here and even locals, and we kind of like it like that. And we take pride in that as a matter of fact. So we have entertainment every single night, and our bar and restaurant is certainly open to the public. Hey, Richard, what's going on? Yep. I remember Creative. You are a music producer. He actually stayed here, and he does music production. Welcome, man. All right, let's hop over to the next article. All right, we are watching you. This is so that's Ann Chen. She is the president of the, I should say, chapter chairwoman of the Jamaica Hotel and Tourist Association, the Negril chapter. And let's hop into the article. And the subtitle is Negril Stakeholders Keeping an Eye on Bartlett's Destination Management Plan. Edmund Bartlett, he is the Minister of Tourism. All right. And if you, Vanessa, I don't think you have this one. Let me throw that in the comments. So there is the article. If you want to read along or just listen to me, I got you. All right, Negril. So this was in the Jamaican Observer, and it came out April 8th. And who's the author here? And this was written by Anthony Lewis, Observer writer. Negril Westmoreland, tourism players in Negril have welcomed Minister Edmund Bartlett's parliamentary announcement of destination management plan for the resort area, but have put the government on notice that they expect the plan to address the long-standing challenges they feel are stunting the significant development of the world-famous resort area. President of the Jamaica Hotel and Tourist Association Negril chapter, Ann Chen, and President of the Negril Chamber of Commerce, Richard Wallace, who is also a hotelier, both said residents were part of the discussions to craft the plan. Now they intend to keep a watchful eye on its implementation. It is important that the infrastructure of Negril is brought up to standard in order to make these plans work and work well, said Chen. The chapter would like to see a comprehensive beautification plan, installation of more sidewalks, construction of a proper drainage system, upgrading of the town center, upgrading of infrastructure used by the police, and the upgrading of the water supply system for Negril. They also want to see the much talked about fruit and vegetable market become reality. According to Chen, a fish market is also an important issue for the stakeholders of the town for its clear blue waters and miles of white sand beach. She also said They are yet to see a proposed location or plans for the facility. Those plans must come on stream at the same time with these new plans of Mr. Bartlett. She said, referring specifically to the fruit and veggies market and the upgrading of the water supply. Bartlett on Tuesday said the parliament told the parliament that Jamaica has a world-class tourism development planning process, which comes in 3 steps: stakeholder engagement, destination assessment, and destination management planning. He added that the detailed planning process continues to guide the tourism ministry effort to upgrade the capital of casual, Negril. With the other 2 steps being completed, he said the Negril destination management plan will be finalized within this financial year. Very cool. The development of destination management plan is a best practice within the global tourism industry. Destination management is a process of leading, influencing, and coordinating the management of all aspects of a destination that contribute to a high-quality visitor experience and which ensure Jamaica maintains its position as a destination with a high percentage of repeat visitors, said Bartlett in his prepared text. Madam Speaker, the Negril Destination Management Plan will scope and refine the 13 Cadillac projects identified in the recent destination assessment. The investments envisioned in this project will ensure that Negril keeps pace with or even surpasses similar destinations in the region. While all are important, marquee projects among them include a town center and beach park, a craft market, a farmers market, and a fishing village. The connection between all these projects is that they seek to reinvigorate the economic, creative, and cultural heart of Negril to expand opportunities for locals and provide visitors with a unique, authentic, and world-class experience, the minister added. Wallace, the Negril Chamber of Commerce president, and stakeholders are in general agreement with the plan and are eager to see work get underway. We want action, work to start. Negril has been neglected for 30 years. We are anxious for upgrading and development to begin, he said. In December, Wallace blasted the government over what he said was a lack of infrastructural development and other worrying issues hindering the growth of the resort town. It is very disheartening when you hear announcements being made about multi-billion-dollar projects happening in Montego Bay, Falmouth, and other areas, and you wonder what about Negril? What is happening to Negril? He questioned then. In an interview with the Jamaican Observer, Wallace had argued that since Negril contributes about 30% of the revenue earned by tourism sector, any investment to upgrade the resort town should not be viewed as a liability to the government and its agencies. Between January and October 2019, the resort town earned a little over $500 million US, he said. And over that period, Negril was the second largest direct employer of tourism workers in Jamaica at 23.9%, or just over 12,000 employees. Negril is earning money for the country, so why not spend some of that money in Negril, questioned the Chamber of Commerce presidents. And that is the end of the article. Let's hop over to the comments here. All right. Lori 96 Smith says, hi, Throp. I recently saw that the beach area in Hellshire is being washed away. The beach is particularly unrecognizable. Have there been any issues in Negril? I hope not. I heard about Hellshire. I've never been there before, but I heard it's a shell of what it used to be as far as the health of the beach. Yes, we've talked about this before in Negril. We have had or do have issues with beach erosion over the years. So our beach here, I'm just going to take down your comment here. So you can kind of see in the bottom right corner there, you kind of see the rail here, and then you see obviously the shoreline where the waves are coming up. Obviously, this is not a good indication in terms of today. The weather's a little rough, but I would say when we first bought the property, the beach was, I'm going to be conservative and say 25% larger further out. And we have pictures that show that. And so there's numerous reasons as to why that is happening and what is contributing to that. And for those of you that heard this, I'm sorry I'm repeating myself, but I think it's just good to know general information from a scientific and marine science perspective. is basically three major reasons: overfishing, water pollution, and the degradation of the the reefs that we have here. And so anytime we have a severe weather system come through, like the beach is severely compromised and in jeopardy of losing more sand. And all three of those factors play into it, because specifically with the reef is there obviously for marine life and it helps with that, but also it helps to slow down the wave action and these severe weather events. And over the years, there was a point where, here at Travelers, if you can imagine, we were only able to have like one row of beach chairs here because the beach came all the way up here, and it was a very scary situation. And we've been lucky and blessed that the last few years we've been able to have a pretty healthy beach. And we obviously, our fingers are crossed, and we hope to continue to maintain, and maybe we'll get even more beach at some point in time. There's plans in place, hopefully, to do some dredging, because there were studies done, and we actually work with this Dutch company, and they sent a PhD, I believe he's a PhD student, to come here and to do all sorts of measurements and get an understanding of the wave action, and specifically an understanding of where the sand is moving. And he did a bunch of dives, and it was discovered that like all the sand that was here on the beach many years ago is still out there. It's out there and needs to be kind of drudged back in. And so that is a consideration for some time in the future for us to get our sand back, so to speak, that's already out there. It hasn't really gone anywhere, it hasn't gone too far, and we hope at some point in the future we can do that. But it's definitely going to need some sort of maintenance plan in place. And it's been good in the last few years, but who knows what the future holds in that respect. And it's been really, really healthy, I would say, for the most part. I can't think of anywhere specifically on the 7 Mile that is like really suffering, but it goes and it comes, and like I said, it's here now, and we're thankful for that. All right. Afro Kinky Hair says, hopefully the PriceSmart expansion will not only provide revenue for local farmers, but create job opportunities for Jamaicans as a plus. Absolutely. I hope so too. It should. Hey, Sade. Hi, Throp. That's great that the tourism ministry has plans to improve Negril. They are doing a great job in Montego Bay. Yeah, they are. What about Negril, though? They're doing a fantastic job in Montego Bay. Unbelievable job. I cannot knock them and that statement at all. They're doing wonderful things in Montego Bay. So hopefully they keep coming a little bit more west. Emily says, seems like a fair question. Why are they ignoring Negril? I said this before. This has kind of been like our Negril's ongoing theory with this is that, and this has gotten better over the years. Negril spans two parishes between Hanover and Westmoreland, and for many years we were just tossed from one parish to another depending on what was needed at that time. And this is like proven in so many ways. And I always say this like as an example is that if you're in the southern part of Negril is Negril, right? And we have literally the Negril police station. And there was a moment in time where if the police were called for an incident that took place in Hanover, the northern part of the beach, which is where most of the all-inclusives are, that you'd have to call the Green Island Police, which is significantly further than the Negril police station, which to get up there, it's probably like 10 to 15 minutes maximum, right? And of course, if you have the sirens, you could probably get there in 7 minutes, right? And Green Island, to get there, I mean, you're probably looking at a good 25 minutes solid to get from Green Island Police Station to the northern part of Negril. But that just goes to show you what the thinking and mentality approach was. So imagine that from like a political level, a governmental level, like the same thing was happening and the same mentality, same approach was happening. And so I think a lot a lot of the reason as to why we've been neglected for so many years. And then also taking some responsibility here in Negril is that for many years we weren't unified. Negril was not a unified community, and I would say more now than ever, this is the most together we have been. And this was pre-pandemic. You know, when I first moved here, we had this whole West End versus beach mentality, and it just didn't make sense to me coming from New York and just being in such a very tiny town that there was like a division based on location. And you know, the West End wanted this, the beach wanted this, and I would hope to think that those days and that type of mentality are long gone. And I feel like, again, we're very much together as a community. We want the same things. We are all willing to put in what and fight for whatever it is that we need as a community. And so hopefully from the government's perspective, they see, and then also we're together on paper as well. Like we're together on what we're asking for and what we're requesting. And I'm starting to feel raindrops. Dollar. Yeah. Yeah, starting to feel raindrops. I think we're gonna have to move inside, unfortunately. So I'm gonna try to let's see if I can continue this on my phone without interrupting. Um, Rain. Yeah. So like, yeah, let's take everything down. Okay, we gotta pack things up quickly. I'm gonna let me see if I can throw on. Sorry if you guys saw this already, but this is the only video I got. Let's do this drone video while we pack up and move inside. Yeah. Let's set up here, and then see if you could do the. All right, we're back. All right, Dollar's gonna set up the other cameras, but this is what we got for right now until we get the camera set up. No sweat. We gotta adapt here. Hopefully, you guys can hear me okay, and it's not too noisy. But we're inside the restaurant, and we'll get the mic hooked up in a little bit. All right. So I hope that answers your question, Ebony, as far as Negril getting or not getting its fair share, so to speak. So, as I was saying before, I was just taking a little bit of responsibility of as a community, like us not being together. But like I said, it's a very different reality for Negril now. Oh, UIC family. I don't know what that means, but okay, Safi. Hey, Throp, what do you think of the plans to create a 4-lane highway from Montego Bay to Miami Bay just before Ochi at the roundabout? It seems a monumental task and will cause chaos construction. Oh, that's the first time I'm hearing about that. But yeah, I would think, yeah, at first in terms of the like what it's going to do. Thanks. Uh, I think it's going to be very obviously disruptive, and I know like a lot of the road work that was done in Kingston was super disruptive. But like when I went back after the after the pandemic and all that construction was done, man, things are moving a lot smoother. Obviously, not perfect by any means, but I think in order to get the infrastructure that we want and need in the country, like there's just going to be some sort of sacrifice in terms of convenience to start with. And is Safi? I'm not sure if that's been approved or not, but if it's going forward, I think at the end of the day, the more we can interconnect Jamaica more efficiently, I think the better it's going to be for the country. That's just my opinion, at least. All right, Lenworth says I visited Negril in 2018, and the beaches north of Margaritaville were severely eroded. Hopefully, it is just a natural cycle, and the beaches will recover. Yeah, it seems pretty natural. Um, in terms of it's cycling through, and like I said before, it comes and goes. I guess at the end of the day, it comes and goes, and I just hope again we continue to maintain the beach and the health that it has right now. Donna Rice says the new Kitties Park from Lisa seems like a good addition to growth. Huge. I'm actually gonna do a video on it. So Miss Issa, owner of Couples Swept Away, Couples Negril, Couples Tower Isle, he just made this Kitties Park out of nowhere downtown, not downtown, West End by Hilo. And I haven't gone inside, but I've seen pictures and I've seen it from the outside. It looks amazing. And he's just such a huge Jamaican patriot and a huge Negril advocate as well. And I mean, he does amazing things for Negril. He actually redid the basketball court at downtown Negril. That when I did play basketball, I used to play all the time. So I know a lot of people in the community appreciated him doing that, as a matter of fact. So I think that's a huge asset to Negril having that Kitties Park. And like I said, I'm definitely gonna do a video on that because it's amazing what he's doing for the community. And yeah, I don't think he's getting enough credit for that. I'm sure they did an article on it, or something, but I haven't seen it. Naughty Knox, thank you for the shout out. Hey Shayna. Shayna, did you see the trailer that I put up on in the membership community? Let me know if you did. I just put it up like a little while ago. And Sade as well. If you can check that out. Izzy J says there isn't that much land for sale in Negril, Jamaica, especially if you want land for development of houses. Oh, there is tons of land for development in Negril, tons and tons. We can go deep West End. There is like hundreds of acres of land for real estate development there. A matter of fact, if we're going to do This was right before the financial crisis in 2007, 2008. I think they came in 2006, like when I graduated from college. When I moved down here, they were going to do this multi-billion-dollar development, hotels, resident housing, supermarket, gas station, you name it. It's basically going to be a new little town, new little city on the west end of Negril. But because of the financial crisis, it all went kaput. That land is still there. That land is still available. This is, if you know Negril, it's in Hog Haven. Even along Nampro Road, there is also, like when you kind of go back into the hills, there's tons of land, undeveloped, ready. When you go up, going towards Green Island, I guess that's not necessarily considered Negril, but north of Salt Creek Bridge, tons of land there for development as well for housing. And people will call that Negril if you did something there for sure. People will definitely call that Negril. So yeah, there is unbelievable amounts of opportunity as far as land and as far as development for Negril. All right, let's see. Kedia, how are you? How are the commemorative events for Chief Taki? Did any events happen in Negril? Chief Takia Day. I don't even know anything about that. Please enlighten me. Please educate me on that. I have no idea. Tony says, looking forward to being there in May. Looking forward to having you. Emily says, it seems like it goes way beyond tourism. Not even a high school seems even crazier. Ebenezer referring to the lack of infrastructure investment in Negril. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy that you're right about that. But we have to just continue as a community, continue just like fight for these things, and hopefully we can, as a community, we can get these things going. Yeah, it's just unfortunate. It's really unfortunate that we don't have these things at our fingertips, and in the community we don't have a high school. Kind of crazy. Oh, Shada says, I saw the video about Kingston and it's amazing. So that's the trailer for the Kingston series. So it's work in progress, but if you're not a channel member and you want to get a sneak peek into the trailer that I released, you can go ahead and hop on as a channel member here on YouTube. I believe it's $5 is the lowest tier, if I'm not mistaken, but everybody who's a channel member has access to it. And it's a work in progress, but I'm very, very excited. Like we're here as a team. We're editing different aspects of the Kingston series, and I know I promised the Kingston series this week, but we've had like major challenges as a team and as a company. This, I would say, almost the last 2 weeks. So we're just kind of working through those and adjusting, and so we're just not moving at the pace that we would like. But once we really get things going, like we'll be able to just like throw these videos out like nobody's business, like a water off a duck's back. But right now we're just again trying to adjust and get it out. But the trailer, it should be hitting hopefully tomorrow night, latest Tuesday night. We're gonna release the Kingston trailer, and again, super excited to share everything with you. With the Kingston series, that is. Glad you like it, Sade. All right, T. Johnson says, how does the Great Morass area or encroachment upon it impact the beach or available amount of usable sandy beach space? So great question. The Great Morass is a very super important part of the very delicate ecosystem that we have here in Negril. And I should know this, but I can't remember. But it's the reason, it's a very huge contributing factor as to why we have a white sand beach here in Negril. And it is a very protected area. There are some properties that have encroached on that, but I would say the government and the community does a good job of policing and hopefully no further encroachment is going to happen on the Great Morass. So, for those that don't know, it's across the street from the beach, if you will. Yeah, so Norman Manley Boulevard is like in the middle. You have the beach on one side, and then on the other side, you have the Great Morass, which is a protected ecosystem environment. And again, we do as a community and as the environmental agencies, they do their best to not allow it'll allow businesses, our residents, to encroach on that. Sorry, we're just continuing to try to set up here. You just plug it into computer. Just in computer. Miss Go 44, very proud of you, Winthrop. Love from Brooklyn. Thank you. Sade says Negril needs to be incorporated as a town and get a mayor to fight for improvements that are needed. Absolutely. Like, this is so true. Is the mic work? Is the mic up? Hold on. Let me see if I could put in the mic. 1 sec here. All right. I'm going to try to switch over to mic here. Mic check, mic check. All right, can everyone hear me? I think this might be a little bit better. All right, let's see. Mic check, 1 2 3. Mic check, 1 2 3. Okay. I think this should be a little bit better. Hopefully, it's cutting out a little bit more of the background noise. But yeah, Sade, as you said, we need to be our own town, and that is like the long-term plan that we are looking to achieve. Hold on. Sorry, guys. We are going to switch cameras. Oh, hold on. I need a type C from here. Okay, sorry. We're going to switch cameras in a little bit. Just trying to hook it up. All right. Yeah. Okay, let's try to. All right, we're going to try to switch cameras here. 1 moment, please. Bear with me. I'm not getting anything. All right, let me get this over. All right, here we go. Okay. All right, we got that camera. All right, at least we got a little bit of a beach view, all right? All right, you guys got that. I'm gonna keep talking about the. Yeah, so I think that's one thing that needs to happen relatively soon is we have our own leadership here, because having your own courtroom and your own legislature in the government, directly, because right now, for the most part, as a community, we fight through the Negril Chamber of Commerce and through the Jamaica Hotel and Tourist Association local chapter for what we want and what we need as a community. But if we had a situation where we had a town mayor that we can go to, and they can go to Parliament or go through whatever chain of command that they need to go to fight for us, that would be a lot different. And now it's based on advocacy, it's based on lobbying as a private sector. And I hope it has to change at some point. We as a community and as a town, like, we bring too much to the table to the country, that is. And I can't see us not doing that. Okay, there we go. We got another camera here as well. Okay, nice. We're getting it together. All right. Okay, moving along here. So yeah, great point, Sade. We definitely do need some centralized leadership here in the town in Negril. Tony Mack says, "What is the best transportation option for getting there if one gets to Montego Bay at midday on a Sunday?" You got two options basically. So you can take a shuttle, or you can. The shuttle is depending on which one you take is $20 to $25. And obviously they're going to make stops at different locations, or you can take a chartered vehicle, which we here travelers, we charge $85 for that. So pick you up from the airport and take you directly here to travelers. And so that's those are basically your two options. Or you can just show up and get a taxi. There's always taxi guys there waiting and looking to take you to wherever you want to go. But I'd recommend setting it up before you get there so you don't have anything to worry about. And then you also know what you're paying. It's not like negotiating and haggling, that sort of thing. It's just much more clear. All right, Marilyn Murray says, "Hi, Throp, and good afternoon. Is the Negril Golf Course officially belong to Negril or Sheffield?" It's called the Negril Golf Course. So it's in, I guess it's in Sheffield. Technically, it's in Sheffield, but yeah, we claim that. We claim that 100%. Kedi Abdi says National Chief Takia Day is April 8th, declared by Governor General of Jamaica, supposed to be a 3-day, 70-mile walk in Betheltown. Interesting. Says the article in the Jamaican Observer, National Chief Takia Day, and it's Ketia, rhymes with Rita. Kita. Got it. Thank you for the clarification. And Kita says, beautiful view. All right. Thank you for that information. I had no idea. Got no idea about that. 70-mile walk. That is pretty far. Junior Char says, "Can you talk about the issue with Little Bay?" Yeah, coming up. Articles coming up. Got you, Junior. Hey, Monique, welcome. Is the price in USA or Jamaican currency? I believe you may be referring to the first financial article, Richard. I wasn't sure. Someone I think it was Chelsea, said it's in US dollars. So I guess we'll go with that because I am unsure at this time. I'm going to take a quick bathroom break, but I will leave you with this view. Give me about 2 minutes, maybe 4 minutes, and I'll be right back. And I'll leave the mic on so you can get an idea of, I guess, the vibe in here. Or at least you get to see the dining room a little bit. Gonna change the camera here. All right, back to me. He's gonna change the lens. All right, bathroom break, well needed. All right, where were we? Let's see, back to the comments. Kim from Boston. I know. I didn't want to put your government out there, Kim, but you already did. You're welcome, Richard. Big shout out to Mr. Wellington and my neat family. You got it. Richard says big shout out to Ocean. All right. So, okay, let's get into the next article. I believe it is it the, okay, the next article is on Little Bay. So Little Bay squatters out in numbers. So multiple people have asked about this. So for those that are unfamiliar, Little Bay is here in Westmoreland. It is, what would I say, on the way to South Lamar, before I guess it's before Little London, actually. And this has been a topic of controversy for some time. It actually I alluded to this, I think, a few weeks leading up to this. And the one thing I didn't know, like, I didn't know the details of what was happening. And if you can remember, I was just talking about rumors. So it was talking about, I was really just alluding to rumors that I had heard about, like, a big development that was happening in supposed to be happening in Little Bay. And even I know people that have property there in Little Bay, and they were also expressing concerns to me about chatter that was happening in regards to development that was seemingly pretty imminent. And the article that I put up there is, which we're about to get into. So let me read the article, and then I will hop into the details a little bit further as to what I'm alluding to here. Okay, so I have multiple articles here. Okay, so this one is, let me throw that in the comments there. So if you want to read along, you can go ahead and click the link. And so this was put in the Jamaican Observer, Sunday, April 10th, 2022. And it was written by, who is this written by? I'm not seeing a comment. I'm not seeing an author here, but let's read through. Little Bay squatters out in numbers to see PM. Westmoreland, Jamaica, hopeful that Prime Minister Andrew Holness will intervene in the land dispute. Residents of Little Bay and Brighton and Westmoreland are now gathered near the site where he will break ground for the Little London Police Station. The dispute is linked to more than 800 acres of prime beachfront real estate property they now occupy. On Wednesday, the irate residents with gasoline on hand and roadblocks were ready to take their protest up a notch after what they say was an attempt to bulldoze their dwellings. However, the Little Bay police intervened and no property was damaged. Early Thursday morning, the People's National Party joined calls for the government to intervene in the bitter and long-running land dispute. According to Mark Golding, president of the PNP, Prime Minister Holness must move with the urgency to protect the legitimate interest of residents of Little Bay who are threatened with an imminent forcible eviction, even though some of them have lived there for upwards of 50 years. Golding went on to share that with many of the Little Bay residents willing to purchase the properties they have occupied over the years, the government should make provisions for it to be actualized. So And I'm going to also put a link here to a news report from CVM, and you can watch that video at your leisure. But essentially, there is a multi-billion-dollar development that is coming onto Little Bay, and I've been hearing about this for months and months and months, but I couldn't confirm it. And to me, when you see unfortunate situations like this where people who have been there for decades upon decades are being moved off and forced off the land that they've been on for so long, then you really know that it's really coming and it's really happening. And obviously there needs to be something put in place for these families and these individuals to be moved to a different location. Of course, it's not their land. They didn't they didn't purchase it, and the owner has a right to that land. You know, we got to abide by the laws and rules of the country, right? Outside of that, the government does have a responsibility, in my opinion, to move them and to find proper and adequate housing for them, because they didn't do anything about it for how many years, you know. And so now all of a sudden they got to move, and it seems like they weren't given much notice or any notice, because it came as a big surprise to them. I don't know, at least that's what it seemed like from the CVM video that I saw and the way the residents were explaining it. But outside of that being the tragedy that it is, it's like you have it also speaks to, what should I say, again, like what's happening with the direction and the financing. Sorry, you can. Yeah, sorry. It just speaks to like the direction that the country continues to go in as far as investment goes. And you have like all these people that are hold on, we're moving a little bit. You have all these investors who again see tremendous value in the country and are literally pumping billions of dollars. So Gizzy J asked where Little Bay is. So Little Bay is in Westmoreland. It's if you're going towards Sav, it's before Sav, it's before Little London, and you make a right, like if you know where Jam West is, that's where, like, kind of going into the back country. I've only been to Little Bay once, and the thing about it is like it's absolutely beautiful. Like from an infrastructure standpoint, like you can see like the whole coastline, beautiful, beautiful beach, and there is just so much potential there. Just so much potential there. And so obviously investors see that, and they see what the at least the fundamental aspect of it, of the infrastructure, so to speak, that's there. And so now you have that. So that's in Westmoreland. And then on the opposite side, so there's, let's say, Little Bay in Westmoreland, Jam West, Little London, and then you have Negril, and then you have the northern part, or Green Island, which is north of Negril. Then you have a multi-billion-dollar investment taking place right now. Construction has already started, 2,000 rooms going up, and then right sandwiched in the middle you have Negril. This to me, there we go. This to me says a lot. This to me says like a lot about. This is like our little setup here. I feel like give you guys a little inside baseball here. This to me says like a lot about. Just it speaks to like just the belief that is in, like, in terms of like the financial belief people have in Negril and Jamaica in general. Like you have two multi-billion-dollar projects, separate multi-billion-dollar projects that are just miles away from each other that's happening. And to me, this says a lot about the direction that the country is heading in, and Westmoreland, Hanover is heading in as well. And it's exciting times as far as I'm concerned. I've never seen anything like this before in all the time that I've been here. So that's the update on Little Bay. I have again, I have friends that own land. I'm going to ask them, where things are and get a little bit more personal insight into what's happening. All right. Arlene says you should consider running for the town mayor. No way. I'm not getting into politics. I said this before. No way. No way. Hey, what's up, Fernando? Thanks for hopping on. Donna Murray says, who pays for the taxes owns the land. Right. So where's the actual owner? The one with the deed. Squatters have rights in JA, but the one with the deed has the final word. So so this is another article. Hold on. You bring up a good point. I want to try to find. So if I'm not mistaken, something crazy happened years ago with the landowner. I don't know if he was a full landowner or partial landowner, but he was killed, and it has to do with the same situation that they're facing now. With and if anybody can speak to that, but I'm trying to find the article that actually speaks to this. Just bear with me. Okay, here we go. Okay, this is the article. I'm going to throw this in here as well. Here is the article. So this is a second article on this, and this is in the Jamaican Gleaner, the Gleaner. Little Bay land dispute threatens to explode. Angry residents doused heavy equipment with gasoline and threatened to light it after a demolition crew turned up to evict them from the disputed lands in Little Bay, Westmoreland. The battle for the property has been raging for decades, and saw one of the proprietors, John Eugster, being murdered in 2004 after trying to reclaim the lands. Things threatened to again become violent yesterday as tempers flared during the latest eviction attempt, as more than 100 residents staged protests objecting to efforts to demolish their homes. They contend that they have a right to the property through adverse possession, having captured and lived on it for decades. Several cops from the Little London police station rushed to the location and held disgruntled occupiers at bay. James Drummond told the Gleaner that he was inside his house yesterday when he heard a loud noise outside, unaware that men had come to demolish their home. He was apprised of the situation by a neighbor, and there's patois, which I'm not going to read, but basically the gentleman is saying he came out with a tractor and broke down his house, and he went and came out to stop them and saw one tractor on the beach. That's my translation of his patois. The residents have been battling in court with Euster's widow, Kathleen, a United States citizen, for control of the sections of the 867-acre property. Wow, I did not know it was that big. 867 acres. Okay. Despite a 2011 court decision granting writs of possession and the eviction of at least 27 settlers, Euster has been unable to regain possession, which has also been earmarked for a $5 billion investment. Wow, US $5 billion, that is. The squatters have occupied the property for years, offering various tourism products, including guest houses, villas, bars, and restaurants, plus multi-million-dollar housing solutions. According to Drummond, they are prepared to pay for the lots on which they reside. He was joined by other residents who said their parents and had lived on the land for decades undisturbed. So some now golden agers investing their entire life savings to build their homes. Little London councillor Ian Miles called the government to intervene, likening the dispute to a ticking time bomb. What happened this morning could have escalated if not for the intervention of the security forces, and we don't want any lives to be lost in this area over this fallout, he said, urging Prime Minister Andrew Holness to intervene. Okay, I think that gives a lot more further insight into that. So, Kita, I hope that answers your question. That's what happened or is happening with the former and current landowner, or the wife of the landowner. Grizzy says, what are they developing? I believe it's a hotel. From what I heard, a 2,000 room hotel. Yes, 2,000 rooms. That's what I heard. Unconfirmed. No, they didn't find oil out there. But like I said, it's so beautiful. Like I can't. You got to see it for yourself. It's so beautiful out there in Little Bay. Beautiful beach. The coastline is phenomenal. You know, you put up anything there, you know, it's going to be worth its weight in gold over there. The amazing M&G. Hello, my dear friend. I am here giving you my full support. Thank you. Appreciate it. Afro Kinky Hair says, I think that the residents should have been given proper notice and time frame to relocate. How long have these people lived there? Essentially, whomever holds the title is right. Yeah, they've like they said, the article says some people have lived there for 50 plus years, which is crazy. So a long time they've been there. Chelsea said the government will have to be more proactive about problems with squatting. The same thing happened in Montego Bay some years ago. Yeah, we still have like other locations here in Negril. We talked about this last week on Nampro Road, Whitehall area. There's a lot of squatters there. We talked about the recycling center last week, and there basically being a squatter city over there. And it's just crazy to me that I don't know who's in charge of this, what government agency is responsible for, anti-squatting, whatever it is, but you get these little communities that start off with 1-2 families and then they balloon into these mini cities. And that's what's happening. That's what happened on Nampro Road. That's what happened in Whitehall. And these are very, very valuable pieces of property. And it's like, Nampro Road is basically downtown Negril. I mean, some of the most aside from the beach and also the cliffside, some of the most valuable property there is in Negril. And at some point, I'm sure the government or investors are going to want that land. And boy, that's going to be a warm time trying to get those people on. But if you can just stop it before it happens, then you avoid that whole situation. So I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. But I think they, like you said, Chelsea, they just need to be a lot more proactive about it. I could talk a little Jamaican, but definitely not good enough to to embarrass myself so you guys can laugh at me in here, right? He just says, wow, Drummond are my family. Happy Sunday, Doc C. Very interesting video, my dear friend. I believe the amazing M&G is talking about the video from CVM. I believe that I just posted. Donna says, Throp, thank you for this conversation. It is important for landowners to make sure they have their deeds in hand in addition to their tax payment records. Absolutely. Gotta have all that. And then also, if you do have land, I think you also share that responsibility as well, and making sure, and I know a lot of landowners don't live here, but man, send somebody there to check on it, make sure that there is no squatters. And that's 867 acres they mentioned in the article. That's going to be hard to police and hard to fence, because I was going to recommend fencing, but that'd be ridiculous to fence 867 acres. But yeah, there's some things that you can do to prevent situations like this from the private sector, and definitely from the standpoint of the government, because some of this land is government land, not the Little Bay land, the land that I was referring to earlier. Elvis White says, "Hi, Throt. We want to hear more of your patois accent." Not gonna happen. Not right now, at least. Good try though. Because he says White House Colden area is so beautiful as well. Oh yeah, I heard about that. Should be going there at the end of this month early May is what I'm scheduled to be going there. So hopefully we can get a video out of that as well. Paula McKinsey, High Throp, watching from UK, London, not London, England. Afro Kinky here. If they have occupied this land for decades, then doesn't mean that they have squatters' rights. I believe so, but like the article said, we're talking about $5 billion US. That's with a B. I don't know. That's a lot of money, and I mean, we can't be. I mean, let's be realistic here. Even if they say they're gonna pay for it and everything, I don't know what's gonna happen. And I've seen some of those houses, like they're right on that beautiful beach, and they're nice houses. I've obviously never been inside, but I saw some of them, and I'm like, man, what are you gonna do? And you took a risk, putting that money in there in that house. And I know I have a friend that did the same thing, but put up a house there in Little Bay. And he literally told me his thinking was if he gets 5 years out of it, he'll be happy with it because he rents it out for Airbnb, and he also goes there to kind of hang out when he has the opportunity to do so. But he consciously knew that this was not his land, and that, again, if he got 5 years out of it, which he has, he'll accept that and he'll move on. And so that's seemingly what he is going to do based on the circumstances. And like I said, he understood that going in. Hey, Ingrid, chiming in from Orlando. Welcome. All right, we got one more article. Funk Bringer, what's up, man? London, Ontario, welcome. All right, we got one more article. Let's see if I could throw it up. And so it says, crime is not an issue. Subtitle, Black expats and repats make Jamaica their home. Thought this was a very relevant article to what we are doing here on this channel and doing in this live stream right now. Let's see. I could throw that in. Let me see if I could bring it up here. So I'm going to throw it in the comments, and of course, I'm going to read through it myself. If you'd like to click and read through it yourself, you can do that. And this was written in Jamaican Gleaner, Sunday, April 10th, by Janet Silvera, a friend of mine, actually. And it reads, steering clear of nations that marginalize, harm, and kill them because of their color of their skin, blacks from 30 different countries have embarked on an exodus into Jamaica. With a high concentration from the United States, Canada, and Great Britain, many with absolutely no roots to Jamaica, the group has tagged themselves Black Expats and Repats in Jamaica, BERG, B-E-R-G. The island's crime rate is no deterrent, they say, as America is as violent, particularly against Black people and other ethnic groups, noticed T. Clarice Norton, who was born and raised in the Deep South in Mississippi. When talking about crime in Jamaica, the concept is kind of perplexed, Norton expressed, positing that Jamaica is labeled among the most violent in the world. But I haven't experienced enough to say that. Not that there is no crime, but I think comparing a small island to other places is not a fair label. Norton, who relocated to Jamaica in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic, as an online English instructor, said there is no way that anyone who lives in a place such as Florida and New York can call Jamaica violent. Her expat colleagues concurred with Aisha Mimi White, a tour operator who has spent the last 13 years here, stating that she fell in love with Jamaica's culture, which was the driving force behind her relocation. For Latanzia Jackson, who grew up in West Palm Beach, Florida, she wanted to live in a place where there was no language barrier and where there were more people that looked like me. I also wanted the climate, she shared with the Sunday Gleaner. The sole male in the administrative team, entrepreneur, publisher, and workshop facilitator Kwame McPherson, who was born in the United Kingdom but moved to Jamaica at age 7 and has been in and out of Kingston since, said his intention was always to make Jamaica his home, and crime was never an issue. Jamaica is my home. Formidable organization. The four are administrators of Berg, which was founded by Norrin in September 2020 on the social media platform Facebook, and has since transitioned into a formidable organization incorporating a limited business, social enterprise features, and bringing to the four diaspora related issues. Berg has approximately 2,000 members and receive an average of 30 new requests per week. We are projecting that our membership will be at least 3,000 by the end of the year, and envision that over the next 3 years, Berg will be poised to provide resources, guides, and services to over 5,000 individuals, McPherson told the Sunday Gleaner. 65% of the group's membership, although they have no ancestry here, wants to make Jamaica their home. The others with Jamaican roots from their parents or grandparents, and some who were born in Jamaica but have lived overseas, are ready to come back home. About 25% of the group lives in Jamaica permanently, 25% do long stretches of time here, while the other 50% are looking to make a living here permanently, explained McPherson. Those are the ones who want to call Jamaica home, who want to live, who want to have a tie, who want to have a property, housing, employment, those types of things. The Burge is not just interested in people moving here, but they must come to the island and be sustainable, contribute to the economy, become acclimated with the culture, and understand the ins and outs and how to navigate Jamaica. That is the primary purpose of the Facebook page. So what we realize is that we have people from all over the world, people from all over the world in this space who want to come to Jamaica for the reasons we've stated previously, but they have no clue how to operate, the Burge administrator explained. Do's and don'ts of reselling in Jamaica. According to them, they found Jamaicans who go abroad achieve great wealth in training, education, and experience, and can't figure out what to come back to do. Many of them want to reclaim their culture, and they may have been robbed of, argued Jackson. One of the first significant moves Berg has made to produce the do's and don'ts of reselling in Jamaica ebook, which is found at brjamaica.com. They have also developed a 2021-2023 strategic plan, created a classified page for members, businesses, and connected with corporate Jamaica with a view of building collaborations and partnerships. The book entails things like how to go about getting a bank account and letting them know that when they get there, they need to apply for a TRN, tax registration number. Also, the organization to contact for housing. And it talks briefly about the different parishes that are within Jamaica, what to expect when you are dealing with some of the governmental agencies, and so on, explained Norton, who is an expat in digital media development. It gives people some sort of basis and basic knowledge of what to do when you first land. If you're not of Jamaican descent like myself, you may want to go ahead and contact PICA, Passport, Immigration, and Citizenship Agency, and go ahead and start doing the paperwork for your extension so that you have enough time in the country to start getting yourself settled out of Jackson. The Burge team has met with the Ministry of Labor and Social Security while creating a space for people with Jamaican roots to integrate and assimilate and to give back. A lot of time is about mental and emotional freedom. You can't put money on that, they concluded. And that's the end of the article. So yeah, you got a organization that is dedicated to helping people move to Jamaica. So let's hop into the comments here. All right. King Naldo says, "Throp, when are you going to link up with Berg?" Actually, from reading this article, I filled out their Facebook questionnaire and I applied to be a member. Hopefully, I get accepted, right? So I guess we can take it from there. Hopping on the group, hopefully, and I could kind of see what they're about. Just heard of them for the first time through this article. So thanks to Vanessa for finding that. All right. Natalie says it's a very good and interactive group. Okay, cool. Looking forward to seeing what it's all about. Gillette says, hey, Thrive, greetings from West Palm Beach. It's a beautiful day today here. A little cool in the 60s, but not as gorgeous as Jamaica. Yeah, it's a little rainy here, but still nice. A little overcast. Chelsea says, some of the black expats has been interviewed by yours truly. Oh, really? Okay, awesome. Sorry. All right, got some comments about the squatters. Kind of just want to stay on the article for a little bit, but let's hop back to the squatters. Oh, Kev says, stopped through yesterday with my wife's cousin and brought a couple of beers on our walk. Such a friendly staff. Awesome. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. Kita says, some of the squatters have been there for generations of ancestors who originally lived and owned that land there before getting scammed or pushed off this very same land. He's talking about Little Bay there. Natty Knot says, is Negril known area for farming? Also, what areas would you recommend to farm? I mean, for sure, South Coast breadbasket of the country, St. Elizabeth. That's the number one area I would say for farming. Is Negril known for farming? Not really. There are farms here, but I wouldn't say we're known for farming here. But there are farmers. My father has a small farm in his backyard, and we get a lot of stuff there for the restaurant here. So I guess from a soil perspective, I guess it's good. But not I wouldn't say there are a ton here. West Debate says, ignore anti-squatting. It should be anti-poverty. The government is the people, so the land belongs to the people. What government should do is make sure the lands are used for the people. Sure, I agree. Yeah, we should definitely be anti-poverty. I think there is a lot of opportunity to make that a reality. And I would say with what were we talking about last week? Just with like anything that the government is doing, like these investors that are coming in, right, and they're putting billions of dollars, are investing billions of dollars into the country. I do hope that it reaches the people, and when I say the people, your blue collar workers, your hotel workers, and that there are opportunities for them to just live an elevated quality of life at the end of the day. That's kind of my hope with all these investments coming on board. Of course, there are going to be these jobs like construction jobs that are coming on board that will be there for the short term, but then the long term, you have all these hotel jobs, which again is fantastic. But I hope there are going to be spill-offs off of the hotels that are being put up, which there should be. Shade says, Missy Memphis is a member of the expat group you just read about. Oh, cool. I didn't know about that. I didn't know that. So if I have trouble getting in, I could always reach out to Misty. Yvonne says, great group. Cool. So hopefully I will hop into that group at some point in time. All right. So those are all the articles that we have for today. I do want to continue to remind people about the investment conference coming up in November. I'm working very hard on the website and the organization, the itinerary, reaching out to panelists, reaching out to experts in moving to Jamaica. And so as a reminder, this is happening November 10th to November 14th here at Travelers Beach Resort of this year. And So if you go to thoughtmedia.com, the countdown has started over there, but you can also throw your email address in there so you can get all the up-to-date information, especially when we launch the website, which, fingers crossed, I'm working with the designer on that, as a matter of fact, and we should have it launched by the end of this month, and that will have all the information about the investment conference in November. So if you're thinking about moving to Jamaica and you want a little bit of help and you kind of want to dip your toe in the water physically, so to speak, and speak with subject matter experts here, speak with many of the individuals who I've interviewed who have already gone through the process of transitioning and moving to Jamaica, and then also again with the subject matter experts, the professional services aspect of it, which I think is very important, with realtors, financial experts, and bankers, used new car dealerships, because of course you need a car. I won't say you need a car, but I would say it's important to have a car here. These are the people that you want to speak with. They're all going to be at the conference, at the expo, at ThropX 2022. And again, you can go ahead and let me throw the website in the comments, thropmedia.com. Hold on, let me get the right URL. Yeah, you can go ahead and throw your email in there, and as we move towards the creation of everything and putting everything together, you'll get the email updates, and I think it's going to be good. I'm very, very excited by it. I think that I haven't seen it. Well, there have been investment conferences, but not the way that I plan on doing it, and I'm very much looking forward to sharing that with everybody. So that's kind of the update on ThropX. As mentioned earlier, I threw it in the comments there. So if you want to go ahead and sign up for the email and get some up-to-date information on any notifications that are happening with it, you can go ahead and do that. The link is there in the comments. As far as the Kingston series, which I continue to promise week after week, as mentioned before, the trail, it's in progress. We are working on it literally every single day, and the trailer is, I would say, 80% through. And if you're a channel member, you have access to it already. It's not the final trailer, but it's a work in progress. I kind of just put it out there to get any feedback. The channel membership is very small, but if you wanted access to that, you can go ahead and join and become a channel member, and you can kind of see the work in progress version of it before it actually is debuted, which we're aiming for either tomorrow night or Tuesday night. It will be out, and the series should kick off the following week, next week. Shade says, Throp, maybe you can have a lawyer who knows about immigration at the conference. Yes, so I'm definitely going to have a lawyer. Somebody mentioned having somebody from education, so maybe a principal and or somebody from the Ministry of Education as well come on board. Definitely going to have a lawyer. I'm going to have both a real estate lawyer and also my real estate lawyer, and then also a immigration lawyer as recommended by Shade. I think that's a great idea. Yes, Natalie says, great idea, Shade. West Debate says, can't keep driving a country development through low-paying jobs, have to provide middle-income opportunities. The highest rate of poverty are all the tourism areas of Jamaica. I don't know that to be true. I wouldn't consider Negril has poverty, of course, but I've been to much, much poorer parts of the country that have no tourism. Honestly, the poorest parts of the country that I've been to and have seen myself did not have tourism involved. But yeah, there are definitely super, super poor areas in Negril for sure. And I agree with you. I do think the country needs to diversify in terms of the industries that it's investing in. And I stated this before. I think Negril should be a tech hub. I think we have the infrastructure for it. I think we have, we just look at this beach and what we have here, and as far as telecommunications, yeah, we got that as well. And to me, it's just a matter of, I'm probably oversimplifying, but definitely incentivizing it and reaching out to industries of that nature. But if not, I guess I'll do it. I'm going to try to do it, definitely, because I think I believe in Negril so much, and believe in Jamaica so much. And if we're not attracting those type of industries now, I think somebody's going to have to do something about that. And who, as far as I'm concerned, who else is going to do it? Who else is positioned to do that? But I agree with you, West Debates. I do think we need to do further diversification of industry. And to me, that's the only way. That's the only way we're gonna lift. I mean, from a larger perspective, lift people out of poverty. And when you think back to like the industries that we had, like with manufacturing and farming, that we lost a lot out of decades ago, we lost a lot of that to other countries, I should say. I think we should, consider getting back into it. Weiss believes that the country is not getting better. This is beginning of a new world order. Perhaps, but the country is, from an economical standpoint, purely from a numbers perspective, the country is getting better. When you look at debt to GDP ratio, which to me is one of the most important factor to look at, because Jamaica needs to get out of debt. Finally, I said this before, we're under 100%, and that was done under this administration. Like, and I'm not for PNP or for JLP or anything like that, but it's just the fact of the matter. But the country does seem to be moving in the right direction, and I continue to say that I've never seen this type of investment that I've seen in the last 5 to 7 years come into the country, especially at the rate that it's coming into the country at this moment. So it's better than not having it. That's for sure. That's for sure. Shada says, "Hey Throp, check out Stephanie Perry's channel and the Exodus Collective. These channels focus on helping expats move to the Caribbean. Maybe you can do a collab with them." Let me write that down. Vanessa, if you could write that down, I'm going to write that down too. Stephanie Perry. What was the other name that we got there? The Exodus Collective. Okay, thank you. I will check those out, Sade. Appreciate that. Yeah, definitely looking to do more collaborations for sure. For sure. All right. Coming up on 2 hours here. Anybody have any questions or comments? Let me know. We're going to start winding down here. Got more editing to do. We got to get back into the edit. We got to get the Kingston video out. So literally after I finish this, going right into the studio and getting to work. Doesn't stop here. Gotta come true on my promises, right? I've been promising this thing for weeks. I feel terrible every week that goes by, and I feel like, man, I have to come back on live and see you and then be held accountable for what I said. But I always have the intention to do it, and then, like I said earlier before, like craziness happened with the team, so we were very much thrown off by like our whole production was thrown off completely. But we're still not fully back, but we're starting to get our feet back under us though. All right. King Naldo says most people misjudge Jamaicans' minimum wage as the average salary in Jamaica. Minimum wage is only for non-skilled workers. Folks are making comparable salaries in Kingston area for years. Yeah, they are making very, very good money in Kingston. Of course, depending on what you're doing, but that is the financial epicenter of Jamaica. So, what you make in Kingston, and also the industry is much more diversified out there. You can have like Negril, for example, is like it's everything here is somehow based or connected to tourism, whereas Kingston, you got so many different industries that are that are out there. So that very, very good point. It's not, you know, Jamaica has money for sure, and like even like professionals are doing well out here. Like I know many professionals. Like so, yeah. Don't think that it's not happening. If you have an education, and I'm not saying it's fair or equitable across the board, but you can do well out here. As I'm like thinking as I'm stuttering here, as I'm thinking to the next podcast that I have coming out, hopefully tomorrow. Um, I interview a family. Let me see if I could get that up. As a matter of fact, I doubt it. Probably shouldn't even try. But I'm interviewing a family that's moving from Canada to Jamaica, and they are what I would say. Basically, they're going to be making their income, a large portion of their income from here in Jamaica, and they're just huge advocates for that and for making their living here in Jamaica. So I'm excited to share that with you as well. But that just furthering your point there, King Naldo. Camille says excited for the Kingston video. No rush though. Yeah, Camille, you can laugh at me about that. You've earned the right to laugh at me about that. But yes, the trailer will be out this week. There's no doubt. Like I said, we're about 85% through with that edit. Just got some final touches that I want to add to it. What's the base? The per capita is increasing, but the people are hardly benefiting, driven by foreign direct investment, more lower paying jobs, less local ownership. Yeah, there is definitely more. Like I agree. There's tons and tons of foreign direct investment that's happening. I'm for that. I'm completely for foreign direct investment happening. I would kind of pivot it back to you. Less local ownership. Like, what do you think is the way to get more local ownership, right? It's becoming, and we can't be a country that doesn't allow foreign direct investment to come in here, because what that's also doing, it's also increasing competition locally, and it's forcing local businesses to get better and to be better, because you're comparing and we're competing in a global market here as a country. And so that global competition is becoming more localized as we fight these global multinational companies. And even us as a hotel, as a small hotel, we have to do that as well. And as the years have progressed and have moved forward, the competition has become more and more fierce, and there is more and more more and more foreign owned hotels and properties that are coming on board that we are competing against. And I personally have no qualm with that, no problem with that. But it's the trend, and it's what's continuing to move forward. Moving forward, it's continuing to be what is going to happen seemingly. West Debate says Negril is low-paying jobs. Most of the highest-paid workers here in Negril are foreign managers, which most of the large hotels import here. Yeah, sure. That could be true, but again, I would say, kind of putting back on you from a locally owned perspective. One, how do we get more businesses to be locally owned, or how do we get more incentive, so to speak, for local entrepreneurship, or even the skill sets needed for local entrepreneurship, I would say. And as far as, well, let me see your point, the highest paid workers are in the grill or foreign. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. Like, they're being paid by, these are multinational, multi-billion-dollar businesses, and they can afford to pay their managers that kind of money and that kind of leadership. And you can raise the minimum wage, I guess, but to me, like hotel workers are not being paid minimum wage. That's for sure. I can tell you that, especially with gratuity and everything like that. They're not being paid minimum wage, and I'm not even sure if you're arguing that. And he says access to capital at global interest rates. Boy, gotta turn the camera on myself for this. I would love that. I would absolutely love that, but I don't know what is holding up the country to doing that. And you make a good point. Is like interest rates, like so. Yeah, we're not getting global interest rates here. I mean, some interest rates that you get here are like in the teens, high teens, as a matter of fact. The credit card interest rate here is 47% last I checked. 47%, if I'm not mistaken, whereas a credit card interest rate in the States would be maybe 17, 19%, low 20s, 23% max, depending on your credit rating. And you could correct me if I'm wrong out here, but yeah, access to global interest rates would make a huge difference. I also think, from my perspective as well, it's just like, and I said this in the last podcast, like I feel like Jamaica is pro business, but I feel like it could be more pro entrepreneurial, and to provide the infrastructure and resources for young, and just maybe not even young, but just entrepreneurs that are just getting started and just doing basic education. And there's so much happening, especially as we move into a more global and more digitalized world. These are the skill sets that we're going to need as a country to again compete globally. So point well taken, West Debates. Point well taken. Marie D says, however, the locals need to be taken care of, the pay benefits, etc. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. There's talks of for years actually of having a pension plan for hotel workers, for a government pension plan. So that is looking like it's going to come on board. As a matter of fact, I believe it is. What else we got here? Novelet, hello Throp. Are you having anyone from the health department at the expo? One of the reasons people like me is on the fence about repatriating is access to good healthcare. Yes, I am actually. So I said this before on a previous live. I plan on actually doing an interview with Dr. Foster, um, who is the one building the new Negril. I'm not sure what it's called, but actually I forget what it's called, but it's the new hospital in Negril, and just to get an understanding of what kind of services that he's going to provide, and also getting a tour of the hospital. So, and they're working on it every day. I run by it every single day, as a matter of fact. So I'm excited to learn and hear about what that's about. And that is a very big part of what this channel is going to be presenting and bringing to the table in the near future, is a whole entire healthcare aspect. And just, I think that's really important. You know, I don't know how old you are, Novelet, but especially for boomers and people my dad's age, number one concern, number one concern for sure is having access to that. So I'm figuring that out, how I'm going to present that, what kind of information that people would like to have in regards to that, and then also just bringing, what it's like currently, no holds bar, what's happening with healthcare in Jamaica, and specifically in the Negril region. But yes, good point. I will definitely have healthcare and health services at the conference for sure. Thank you for that, Nablet. What's debate says, so we can't compete if we are paying those high interest rates. So local businesses need protection and support until we can compete on more even playing field. Yeah, I agree. And it's like crazy. So I've seen, like, when I first came to Jamaica, and like I was seeing these interest rates, which are insane. I'm just like, how have these businesses do this? It's like one of those things, like the interest rates are so high, like you can't fail. And I've seen many businesses be successful with this. Many businesses be successful with this. But on the flip side of the coin, my father has never taken out a loan in building this property. One of the main reasons is because of those interest rates. He never took a loan. And we're lucky as brothers who have taken over Travelers Beach Resort, who have a free and clear property. No, there's nothing on the land. There's nothing, no construction loan or anything of that. But I believe because my father had done business in the UK and then also in the United States and also in Fiji, he understands, to your point, West debates the global interest rates. And He was just like, no way. And so never got a loan, never did it. So good point. I think we definitely need better interest rates here. And I don't know what's driving that. I don't know why the interest rates are so high. I really can't speak to that. Maybe it's something I actually need to look into. I will, as a matter of fact, I'm going to be interviewing a banker soon. So I will put that on a list of questions to ask. Why are interest rates so high in this country? Chelsea says, excuse me, Throp, you are right on point about the exponential growth of the Jamaican economy. One of the factors that is driving the growth is the massive infrastructure development. That's right. So you got, somebody had mentioned earlier in the live about the 4-lane highway that's coming on board to Ochi or something like that. I can't remember, but that also is speaking to what is happening with, I don't know if there's like some big picture grand scheme. I think it was King Spotlight. I haven't seen him on here today, but he's been telling me to check out the no, it was Alfonso. I think it was Alfonso. Sorry. He was telling me to check out the budget debate that happened recently, and there are a lot of things coming on board from a national standpoint. So at some point, I will definitely take a look at that and get some more insight. King Naldo says Negril has long been the epicenter of small businesses, mainly in hotels, cottages, and guest homes. This separates Negril from the bureaucracy laden Montego Bay and Ocho Rios. That's right. We have the most small hotels per capita here in Negril. Marie D says to include medical marijuana and what type of business can come out of this type of business. Yeah, good idea. I don't know if anybody in the audience knows Ross IV. He is the expert on that, and I definitely will. He's on my list of people to actually interview, and we will get him on the pod, and somehow we will try to get him to come on board for the expo, and I think he will. He's I consider him a good friend of mine, as a matter of fact, a very good friend. So Ross IV, sorry, I'm just talking about him. I didn't tell you his affiliation. So he is in charge. Oh man, I should know. So he was in charge of the first Cannabis Cup and Expo that was done in Jamaica, which was done here in Negril. And that's when this was, I think, 2015, 2016, and they partnered with High Times Magazine. And I really do forget the name of his organization, but he is the expert of experts when it comes to not only medical marijuana, but doing the business of marijuana in Jamaica. So again, at some point, we will definitely get him on the pod. Mr. Info says it would be great if returning residents could keep up their health insurance and use it in Jamaica. Yeah, somebody mentioned that before. I think that's a good idea. But also, I have to say the cost of healthcare here is far more affordable than it is in the States. If you're coming from the States, I can only speak to that. I gave this example before. I tore a ligament in my knee, got diagnosed in January or November. I can't remember. Anyway, I had to get an MRI. I just got new insurance and I could not be covered. And it cost me 43,000 Jamaican dollars, which I would say is somewhere around 40,000, maybe $350 for an MRI on my knee. And some people were saying that will cost them $5,000 in the United States. And again, this is a brand new machine, world-class machine that I was on, and got the same information, got the same diagnosis that I would get in the States. I also had to get these PRP injections in my knee as well. My friend who I grew up with, we played sports together, he had to have the same injections done on his knee, and he had to pay out of pocket $1,500 US. Again, I don't know the exact price I paid, but if it was $200 US, I would be extremely surprised. I would say I can't remember, but I'm gonna find out. I keep saying I want to find out, and I never do. But if it was, I doubt it was more than $100. Honestly, compared to $1,500, and I told him he might as well fly down here, get a vacation, get the shots done on his knee, and go back home, and he would still save money. So it's a lot more affordable here than in general. And this is again without these two examples I gave you are without insurance. Kitty says all the Jamaican reggae artists, Jamaican culture to the world could really help start up businesses with community. Jamaica needs to do like Marcus Garvey did and taught. Good point. Marie says awesome and include some of the local of marijuana farmers. Yes, definitely. Good idea. Let's see, we switch to this camera. Oh, that is a super zoom camera there. They changed the lens, but now we're looking at the buoy that's way out there. Oh, but the weather's getting better. It's calmed down. Weiss Collins 4 says Traveler's Beautiful Resort better than all-inclusive resort in Negril, coming back next month. Awesome. Looking forward to having you. Richard Bryant says born and bred in Spanish Town, Jamaica, and lived between the U.S. and Canada for 40 years, and am longing to come home. Looking forward to having you home, man, and welcoming you home. Mr. Info says healthcare is very expensive in the States. It for sure absolutely is. Marie D says the medical insurance is only affordable to those who can afford it. Always assist some locals with medical bills as they can't afford it. Yeah, it can definitely be expensive. I don't know how much we pay, but as a company we offer it to our employees here. At Travelers, and I told my guys here who are working for me on the company and throughout media, like that's one of the we just started, but that's one of the first things I'm going to get them is to get them healthcare as soon as I possibly can. Like that's like one of the first things I want to do. Hopefully this year, actually, as a matter of fact. I don't see why not as the company grows and moves forward. Next comments. Kita says, "Oh wow, take that knee right to the healing spring, sending you healing blessings to you." I'm okay. I'm good now. I'm actually running. I did a 16-mile run this morning, very strong, feeling great. Body's getting stronger day by day. My coach actually switched up the workouts that I have this week because I did so well today. So doing very well as far as the healing of my knee. Just need to build a little confidence. Thank you. Melissa, hello, welcome. Kev says, agree that local healthcare in JHA has its benefits for certain health conditions for sure. Yep, for sure. It's I'd say, I said this before, I think for like, and this has just been my experience, I think for non-emergencies, Jamaica is, from my experience here in Negril, is good. So like getting your eyes checked, getting glasses, contacts, very affordable. Like you wouldn't believe. I can't remember. I'm working on a video for this, just like my ailments that I've had over the years and how much they've cost me. Very affordable. I did have a situation where like my brother busted my eye open playing basketball. A doctor came here, the Traveler stitched my eye up. I think I had like 3 or 4 stitches. It was $100. Came here, perfect service. Dental again. I don't know the prices, but this is before I had insurance. Pay out of pocket, and this is of course in comparison to that of the U.S. and specifically New York, which was what I know and what I'm used to. What else? I'm trying to think of other experiences. And then also I would say Jamaica is very good at prescription pills. Like they're generic drugs, but they're the same, even like with my glaucoma medication, and like medications that I pick up from my dad as well. one, it's very, very available, and then two, it's again compared to the U.S. And if you're a Canadian citizen or you come from a more socialist nation, this stuff means nothing to you. But for U.S. citizens, like, this stuff is very, very expensive for prescription pills. It's like you have to have insurance, especially if you have a chronic illness that requires you to refill prescriptions on a monthly or weekly basis. And so Jamaica is actually very good on that, and on that side of the fence. King Naldo says 43,000 Jamaican is 278 US dollars. Thank you for that. So less than $300 for an MRI on my left knee. All right. I think we're going to start wrapping up here, folks. We're 2 hours and 10 minutes in. And like I said, we got some work to do. We got to get back in the editing room, and we got to get these videos out. I have to come through on a promise at some point with this Kingston video, right? And or else you guys are going to keep throwing these jokes at me. So I got to start working on that. I got a few more comments here. Let me get through them real quick, and then we'll go ahead out and close out the show. Marie says, yes, I just assisted someone in Westmoreland with her eye exam, and it was 6,000 US. I've also assisted with MRI and x-rays, and it's cheap for me to send them cash. Hold on, get some clarity on that. 6,000 US? Did you mean Jamaican dollars for the eye exam? And it was cheap for them to send cash. Yeah, let's get some clarity on that, Marie. Shout out, Jamaican dentists could do very well if they marketed themselves into the U.S. as dental tourism. Many Americans go to Mexico to get dental work done. Good point. That's a very good point, Shade. I think it's a good idea. Yeah, because a lot of people in the U.S. don't have dental insurance, and they don't have eye insurance as well. And if you're going to come on vacation to Jamaica, and you don't have eye insurance, and you have $1,000, you're doing $1,500 vacation, might as well come down here, get your eyes checked. If you need glasses, get your glasses. They're I wouldn't say glasses depend on which one you pick, but the examination itself is, again, super affordable compared to that of the US. And also, dental, as Sade mentioned here. Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I think that's a super, super idea. Now it says, yes, I needed to refill a prescription there last month. I called the pharmacy, showed my bottle, and picked up with my meds with no problem. There you go. There you go. Keves says, big up on achieving 16 miles. Walking puts my 5.5 km walk to shame. Oh, no, I wasn't walking. I was running. Did a 6:22 pace this morning. So next week I'm actually moving up to, so I did 105 minutes, so an hour and 45 minutes. And next week I move up to 2 hours, which is my normal long run time. So 120 minutes next week, which is cool. So now, like, it's just showing that, like, I'm getting my strength back and my fitness back, and being able to handle 2-hour runs every week on Sundays now. And then also trying to get that pace down, trying to get back down to 6-minute miles, which is where I was before I hurt my knee. So that'll probably take a few months to get to. But for those who are going to be in New York, I'm running Brooklyn Half at the end of May. I think it's May 21st. Brooklyn Half, which is the biggest half marathon, definitely United States, maybe even in the world. So if you want to come out for that, as we get closer to that date, I'll let everybody know. But that's always a fun time. Looking forward to that, the Brooklyn Half. And we'll see how I do on that. That's what I'm training for now. And then I'm also doing the Treasure Beach Triathlon, which is at the end of this month. I think it's the 29th. 29th. It's the 29th of this month in Treasure Beach. So doing that triathlon, and I'll make sure I post about that in the community page. And if you're in the area, come through, say hello, support. Looking forward to getting back into racing, especially after this whole pandemic thingy. And if you want to if you want to participate, come participate as well. And you don't have to, like with the triathlon, you don't have to do, you can come in as a team as well. So if you're not a good swimmer or a good biker or a good runner, you can pick something else and, can have either two or one other person do the other two legs of the triathlon. So the Treasure Beach Triathlon is the longest running off-road triathlon in the entire world. So just keep that in mind. It's part of history here if you do it. King Naldo. Oh, people getting at me about this Kingston video, huh? I says, when can we expect to see that Kingston video? Next week. So the trailer, like I said, is going to come out tomorrow or Tuesday. If you want to see the work in progress aspect of the trailer, it's already up on for channel members. Wisconsin said, can I get a room on the second floor balcony view of the property next month? Yeah, you can. I mean, hopefully. I would say contact the hotel. Let me throw the hotel's number in the comment section. So you can either WhatsApp them or shoot them an email. But here's the WhatsApp number, 1062. So that's the traveler's WhatsApp number. And if you can check out, see what is available, and if we have a second floor balcony view for you. Wajra says, hello, Throp. I'm writing from Virginia, listening for over an hour. Thank you. You touched on a topic on farming. Why or what did Jamaica lose out on in the field? I see huge potential. Advice, please. Yeah, we lost out on bananas. And sugarcane. Sorry. So bananas and sugarcane we lost out on. I believe we lost bananas to Mexico. And I want to say we lost out on sugarcane to a South American country, but I'm not sure which one. Yeah, unfortunate. Especially Westmoreland. We were a big sugarcane producing area. I don't know if everybody remembers the Frome factory. They still have it. They still do sugarcane, but I know it's not at the level as what it used to be, at least from what I understand. So those are the two that I know of off the top of my head. Sade has a good point. Please hit the like button. Definitely helps out. If you haven't already, please hit the like button. Thank you so much. We says, don't leave till I come second week of May. We'll love to talk to you. Second week in May. Yeah, I should be here. I'm just leaving for the triathlon. Excuse me, for the Brooklyn half. So, yeah, I will be here. I will be here. Oh, there you go. Thank you for that, Ingrid. Ingrid says we lost sugarcane to Belize. Now, but Jones says I'm disappointed when you run in London. Hopefully hopefully in April. Hopefully April 2023. I'm already in talks with a running tour company. I know they moved London to October this year, and they were just too close to New York because I'm running New York in November, and I couldn't do that back to back. 38 body can't really handle that anymore. So doing London, all being well, I will do London in April 2023. But I don't think you can sign, at least the group that I'm talking to, I can't sign up right now. Maybe after October, I'll be able to do that. But next year, Noblet, I'll be doing London for sure. You will see me out there, all being well. All right, folks. Gonna start to wrap up here. Had a little adventure moving from outside into here. Thank you all for bearing with me in the adjustment process and transition process. But I think we're going to leave it here. Like I keep saying, we got work to do. We got to get back into that studio and get these edits out. And so people can stop getting on me about this Kingston video. It's going to be worth the wait. I promise. It's going to be worth the wait. I promise. I'm very, very excited about it. So with that, I want to thank you all for joining me on another Sunday Live from the 7 Mile. It was fun as always. I think we had a very rich conversation this afternoon, and we got a couple of videos coming out this week for sure. For sure, we are on the brink of releasing some good ones. And we'll be back here again next Sunday around the same time, but definitely the same place. And thank you once again, everybody, for joining. And I will see you next week. And I'll see you later this week in the podcast that I'll be releasing and videos that I'll be releasing. Oh, Sade has comment. She says, I have a suggestion for farming interview. I will send you an email about a farmer who is farming hydroponic strawberries. Awesome. All right. Well, I look forward to that. Thank you. Thank you all for the comments. Appreciate it. Thank you for joining. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Kingston video coming. That's all I'm gonna go work on right now. Stanley, got you. I got you. You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you, everybody, for joining. And last one, if you haven't liked it, hit that like button. Definitely helps out a lot. And I will see you all next week, next Sunday, and in the podcast and videos that are coming out this week. Thanks again for joining. Always, always appreciate you spending time with me.